Yours?
I can hear you.
Okay. Please rise for the pledge. Roll call.
Jeff Renahan, First Ward.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Jessica Lopez, Third Ward.
Michael Safone, Fourth Ward.
Stefan Krakauer, Fifth Ward.
Ann Shershin, Sixth Ward.
Felicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Jim Nelson, attorney for the town.
John Bailey, Town Supervisor. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Tonight's agenda, the first item on the agenda will be a presentation to our newest K-9 member, Taya. Town Board agenda, number 1 is a Community Development Block Grant. Number 2 is a resignation from the Water Department. Number 3, authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with MJ Engineering and a steering committee appointment for the open space plan. 4, approve waive Arlington bids essential holiday farmers market. 5, authorize a 2020 budget transfer. 6, accept the donation of lights from Vassar College for Raymond Avenue. 7, approve the sanitary overflow response plan. 8, appoint zoning board member of appeals Diane Levitt and Anthony Straka. 9, resolution Eastdale accept sewer west appurtenances. And 10, a resolution the Hudson Heritage Sewer District. With that, before we usually open up for public comment, I'd like to just do the presentation first. Like the presentation, Chief, come on up. Captain. Town of Poughkeepsie has our newest K-9 member, Taya, who just went through extensive training with Officer Lombardi. We'd like to present Taya with her badge tonight and welcome her to the Town of Poughkeepsie K-9 force and let people understand the importance of a K-9 and the stress and the happiness that it puts on a family's life because the dog lives with the family 24/7. So congratulations, Taya. Good luck, and hopefully you'll have a great handler there in the years to come. Agreed. I think that was an acceptance.
Thank you. I don't know if you want me to shake hands or just say thank you. Thank you. Deal.
Taya, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'll be right back.
Very well behaved. With that, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules on any item on the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Is there anybody that would like to discuss any item on the agenda? *6 to unmute yourself, or *9, raise your hand.
Doreen, raise your hand.
Doreen?
Hi, this is Doreen. I have a couple of questions on the agenda items. Agenda item number 8 about the ZBA appointments. Has the town verified that these people actually do reside in the town? You may recall several years ago, the Third Ward rep actually had moved out of the town and remained on the zoning board for about a year. So
Yes,
have you
Doreen.
verified that these?
They both do live in the town.
Okay, thank you. Number 6 about the Vassar lights. So they just replaced a number of lights already along Raymond Avenue. I saw them going up a couple of weeks ago. So what is it about these lights? Like, so they've already replaced some, and yet tonight you're accepting this. So how does this work?
Doreen, we didn't own all the lights. We own a piece that's out in front of the alumni house. I think it's 20-some lights. They're actually the town's. The rest of them were their lights. They replaced them, so they'll all match. They're LED dark sky lights, so they actually aim down. So they called and said they would pay to have them all match, and they would do the other 20.
Okay. All right. And then my other question is about number 3, the Natural Resources Inventory Open Space Plan. So there's no details in the packet about MJ Engineering. Where are they from?
Upstate New York.
Albany, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know-
Jay, if you'd like, I can help with that.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead. I didn't realize you were on.
Yep, thanks. Yep, MJ Engineering is based in Clifton Park, which is just north of Albany. They're the firm that's currently doing the Arlington Main Street plan. They've also recently done the Dutchess County Recreation Plan. They were one of 6 firms that submitted. We shortlisted 3 and interviewed 3 firms, and the committee, it was the CAC and myself, felt that MJ had the best proposal and the best, process for going forward. So,
Okay, thank you. And, I just want to say about the inventory and the open space plan. These things are all well and good, and I realize it was grant money, which of course is still taxpayer money, even though it's spread out over a larger group of people. But, these things are only good if they're used. And, the Hudsonia biodiversity assessment was done back in about 2008. And, I was instrumental in getting the grant for that around 2006. But, unless the planning board and the planning department is actually using these resources, it's really a waste of money. And I hope the same thing doesn't happen, because even though we have the biodiversity assessment done by Hudsonia, many times projects go in areas, and I don't believe that the biodiversity study is consulted. And if it is consulted, I think it's been ignored. So I hope that doesn't happen with this. And then I have a question on the steering committee appointment. Also number 3, it's 3B. So it would seem that somebody from like land use should have maybe been on that committee. So someone from the land use committee. So how was it decided who was going to be on the committee?
Mike reached out to the planning board and thought that would be great to have someone from the planning board on it, and then to have a liaison from the town board on that committee, just to keep us informed going forward.
So you didn't think obviously, that it should have been someone from the land use committee? That committee was Bill Carlos, Ann Shershin, and at the time, Matt Woollever, and I'm assuming now that'll be Krakauer?
Well, Ann and Bill are both on the master plan committee, so instead of just spreading out, they'd be interfacing with them anyway. We thought to put a different body on it, and it was Mike's recommendation that these are the 2 that he thought would work well, and I reached out to both of them, and they were fine with it.
All right, well, again, my opinion, I think it should have been someone from land use. But all right, thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Doreen, as always. Is there anybody else? No? You didn't say
Doesn't
nothing?
look like it.
Motion to resume the rules?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Renningham?
Whereas the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie opened and closed the duly noticed public hearing on November 4th, 2020 regarding the submission and execution of its fiscal year 2021 Dutchess County Community Development Block Grant Program application. And whereas there is no public comment and the town board discussed a variety of potential projects, now therefore be resolved that the town of Poughkeepsie Town Board does hereby designate the Sheep Road Park Improvement Project for inclusion of its 2021 Community Development Block Grant Program application, and be it further resolved that the work involved is part of the town's ongoing administration and a type 2 action requiring no secret review. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution number 2, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept with regret the resignation of Joseph Negron, laborer with the town of Poughkeepsie Water Department, effective November 6, 2020. So moved.
Second.
We have motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the supervisor or his designee is authorized to execute a contract with MJ Engineering and Land Surveying for $52,000 to perform a natural resources inventory and open space plan, as well as other related services for the comprehensive plan review process on terms acceptable to him, the development director, and the attorney for the town. And be it further resolved that the execution of this contract, which was the result of a request for proposals issued by the Development Director Welty as a part of an ongoing administration of the town and a type 2 action requiring no secret review. So moved.
Second.
You have a motion second. Any questions on this one?
This is being paid by a grant, 100%?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Mike Welty worked on getting a grant last year for this.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Whereas the town of Poughkeepsie is in the process of updating its comprehensive plan, and whereas the town's comprehensive plan review committee has identified natural resource protection and open space conservation as a priority issues that will be a focus of the comprehensive plan's recommendations, and whereas the town's conservation advisory commission is interested in helping the town address this important issue and implementation action following the comprehensive plan update, and whereas the town received grant funding through the DEC's Hudson River Estuary Program for the preparation of a natural resources inventory and open space plan, now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby authorizes the CAC to serve as the steering committee for the preparation of the natural resource inventory and open space plan, and be it further resolved, the town board hereby appoints Jessica Lopez to serve as the board's representative and Robert Nasser to serve as the planning board's representative to the NRI Open Space Plan Steering Committee, along with the members of the CAC. So moved.
Second.
Second.
You have a motion second. Any questions on this one?
Yeah, actually, I'd just like to say that I think Jessica is a good choice to be the liaison because she's also the liaison for the CAC. So the two fit together very naturally, and I think that is a good way to go.
No, and yourself and Bill are on the comp plan already, so.
Oh, yeah, we're on the comp plan already. And also, too, this is a great thing because it also helps us earn points with Climate Smart, too. So we're going to get points from that, and that's going to help us, too. So it's a great project.
Points?
Points.
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 I'll explain to you.
Box top points or?
Yeah, close. More points we get, the better chance we get of getting different grants.
Yeah, yeah, it's a state program.
Yeah.
It's points.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application submitted by Bob Legacy on behalf of the Arlington Business Improvement District and does hereby grant approval to the Arlington Business Improvement District to hold a Holiday Essentials Farmers Market on Saturday, December 5th, 2020, between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m., which will take place in the old Arthur May School parking lot at 25 Raymond Avenue. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is in receipt of a certificate of liability insurance naming the town of Poughkeepsie as additional insured. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby modify the 2020 budget pursuant to the attached budgetary transfer request form submitted by the comptroller to transfer retirement funds for correct allocations per bill as follows. From DB 90100812 NYS retire $5,000 to B 90100812 NYS retire $3,760. S 90100812 NYS retire $1,240. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Whereas Vassar College has offered to fund the purchase and install 21 LED lights on town light poles in front of the Alumni House at 161 College Avenue and across the street along the Vassar College campus at 124 Raymond Avenue, town of Poughkeepsie, New York. All of said work being done by Vassar College employees with the town of Poughkeepsie to be named as additional insured as agreed with Vassar College. Now therefore be resolved, the town board of town of Poughkeepsie authorizes with appreciation the receipt of this donation from Vassar College. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Whereas the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie on December 4, 2013 passed resolution 4.4-7 of 2013, authorizing Frank Ozani, wastewater collection system supervisor, to execute and submit a sanitary overflow response plan. Now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize Frank Ozani, wastewater collection system supervisor, to execute and submit the attached amended sanitary overflow response plan to the New York Department of Environmental Conservation, said response plan to be effective upon the execution of an intermunicipal or other agreement between the town of Poughkeepsie and the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission regarding response coordination and responsibility. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this?
Yeah, I read it as soup initially, but it's definitely not soup.
No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thanks, Franco, for following up on
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Franco.
Is it you, Bill?
Resolution number 8, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Diane Levitt to the current vacant, unexpired position on the town of Poughkeepsie zoning board of appeals, which appointment would expire on December 31st, 2025. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Anthony Straka to the current vacant alternate position on the town of Poughkeepsie zoning board of appeals, which appointment would expire December 31st, 2023. So moved.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on these?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment that I was on the Historic Preservation Commission with Diane Levitt, and she's really a tough cookie. And I think she'll be really good in this position. And she takes town code very seriously, so I think it's a very good appointment.
And I've interviewed personally Anthony Straka on this one, and I do know Diane also. And Anthony has a phenomenal background and an interest in community involvement, and not only in the town of Poughkeepsie, the village of Wappingers, which he lives very close to, and the town of Wappingers. So he's very well-rounded experience, not only knowing our code, knowing other towns' code. Now that he's retired, he's reached out and gotten very involved in the community, where he lives. He lives in a base that's basically 3 towns in one spot, so he's very involved in the community. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Welcome aboard. I see Tony out there. Welcome aboard, Tony. Time to go to work.
Okay, if that's unmuted, thank you, Jay.
Yes. You're welcome. Good
Resolution
luck.
number 9, whereas by bill of sale dated May 19th, 2020, copy annexed, the town of Poughkeepsie accepted certain sewer facilities and equipment from the MHTC Development, LLC MHTC, at the Eastdale project on Route 44 in the town of Poughkeepsie as authorized by Resolution 318-number 13 of 2020, and whereas MHTC has offered to transfer the town an additional wastewater pipe at Eastdale, which runs from SMH 8 to SMH 9 by supplemental bill of sale. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is authorized to accept a supplemental bill of sale for the pipe in question in a form acceptable to the supervisor, wastewater collection system supervisor, and attorney to the town, and that no secret review is required because this transfer involves providing sewer services to an approved subdivision. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
I'm reading up here. Is this?
4 pages. What we were-
Let's see, just start here or here.
Started whereas, I would assume. Or,
Whereas.
Whereas? Whereas a written petition has been duly filed with the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, New York, in relation to the establishment of a proposed sewer district to be known as Hudson Heritage Sewer District in the town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, New York. The district pursuant to Article 12 of town law, which petition together with a map plan and report, including the estimate of cost accompanying same, have been filed in the office of the town clerk and are available for public inspection. And whereas said map plan and report, including the estimate of costs, were prepared by the Chazen Companies, competent engineers duly licensed by the state of New York, and have been filed in the office of the town clerk of the town, where the same are available during regular office hours for examination by any persons interested in the subject matter thereof, and whereas the boundaries of said district would entail the the 155.9 acre site in the town currently designated as grid number 134689-616-03-01149-000, formerly known as the Hudson River Psychiatric Center, and is described in Exhibit A attached hereto and hereby incorporated herein. And whereas the capital improvements proposed for said district consist of the construction of a sewer collection system, including original furnishings, equipment, machinery, appurtenances, and incidental improvements, and the expenses in connection therewith, all as more fully described in the map plan and report herein before described. And whereas the maximum estimated cost of said improvements is $11,320,000, of which it is contemplated that $6,086,270 would be incurred by the town, but borne by the district users through benefit assessments. And whereas the remainder of the estimated costs of said improvements will be paid for by the landowner as a developer's contribution, and whereas the proposed method of financing the cost of said improvements consists of the issuance of $6,086,270 serial bonds of said town maturing in annual installments over a period not exceeding 40 years, which will be payable in the first instance from the annual levy on all taxable real property in said district deemed to be especially benefited thereby in an amount sufficient to pay the principal and interest on said bonds as the same before due. But if not paid from such source, all taxable real property in the town shall be subject to the levy of ad valorem taxes without limitation as to the rate or amount sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on said bonds as the same shall become due and payable. And whereas the estimated cost of hookup fees to the typical property in said district will be a $65 town permit fee plus private lateral installation costs ranging from $10,000 to $100,000 per service connection to the main. There are no one or two family homes, and whereas the estimated cost of said district to the typical property is $580,704 in the first year, in which operation, maintenance, debt service, and other charges and expenses are to be paid. And whereas a detailed explanation by manner by which were computed and estimated first-year costs to the typical property has been filed in the office of the town clerk, where the same are available during regular office hours for examination by any person interested in the subject matter thereof. And whereas said capital project for the district and the establishment thereof was considered as part of the town's multi-year comprehensive evaluation of all potentially significant adverse environmental impacts associated with the proposed redevelopment of the property within the district as a mixed-use residential and commercial development. Through the preparation of the environmental impact statement, and whereas on December 6th, 2017, the town board adopted a seeker finding statement in accordance with 6 NRC RR Part 617, dated December 6, 2018, finding that the project, including the capital improvements contemplated for the district, avoids or minimizes potential adverse environmental impacts to the maximum extent practicable by incorporating various mitigation measures and conditions as set forth in the finding statement. And whereas after a comprehensive review of the project on June 4th, 2019, the planning board adopted its own seeker finding statement as an involved agency upon reviewing inter alia the proposed preliminary and final subdivision plat creating the various lots to be benefited by the district, generally concurring with the town board's determination of the town board finding statement and the project as depicted on the preliminary and final subdivision plat, including the capital improvements contemplated for the district, avoids or minimizes to the maximum extent practicable any potential significant adverse environmental impacts, and whereas it is now desired to call a public hearing upon the question of the establishment of said district of the improvements proposed therefore, all pursuant to Section 193 of the town law, now therefore be it ordered by the town board, town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, New York, as follows. Section 1, a meeting of the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, New York, shall be held at the town hall in Poughkeepsie, New York, in said town on the 16th day of December 2020 at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time for the purpose of holding a public hearing to consider the establishment of the district in said town as described in the preambles hereof to be known as Hudson Heritage Sewer District, the petition and the improvements proposed therefore, and to consider the map plan and report filed in relation thereto, and to hear all persons interested in the subject matter thereof concerning the same, and for such other action on the part of said town board as may be required by law or proper in the premises. Section 2, the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to cause a copy of this order to be published once in the official newspaper of said town, the first publication thereof to be not less than 10 nor more than 20 days before the date set herein for the hearing as aforesaid and said, the town clerk shall cause a copy thereof to be posted on the signed board of the town maintained pursuant to the subdivision 6 of section 30 of the town law not less than 10 or more than 20 days before the day set as for the hearing as aforesaid. Section 3, this order shall take effect immediately. So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any questions?
Do we need to do a roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Jeff Renahan,
Aye.
Bill Carlos,
Aye.
Jessica Lopez. She's muted, but I could tell that she said aye, but. let me
I
check.
thought she-
Aye.
Mike Saffone,
Aye.
Stefan Krakauer.
Aye.
Ann Shershin,
Aye.
and Jay Baisley.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. That brings us to the end of our regular meeting. I'd like to go on to committee reports and the committee of the whole. Finance,
Nothing to report right now.
technology.
Nothing to report right
Nothing
now.
important. The only thing we'll say is, we have a contract that's working on our webpage. We've had 3 meetings with them already, and things are moving forward. They've pretty much worked out a plan of what our design will be like, and Felicia, Charlie, and Tim have been working on that diligently, so if anyone wants an update or any interface in that, reach out to one of them, they can fill you in on where we stand with that. Recreation.
Yes, okay, well, as already reported, we're applying for a block grant for the Sheaf Road Park improvement, so that's a good thing. And this is the last week of soccer games, so that'll be closing down. And then Saturday, December 5th is the Arlington Shopping Village. It's going to be in the parking lot of the old Arthur S. May School on Raymond Avenue. That's from noon to 4.
To be followed at 5 o'clock by
To be
a
followed by 5 o'clock with a caravan. Okay, well, why don't you take over? That's your baby.
caravan. The caravan, we usually have a parade, and this year we decided that it's not in the best interest to have a walking parade. So watching what the county did for Memorial Day and Veterans Day, we decided to do a caravan, and it'll be, nobody can walk. We'll just light your cars up, decorate your cars, your vehicles. Businesses can decorate their trucks. They can put floats in if they'd like. But we will be going from Eastdale Village, coming down and going to Raymond Avenue, through Vassar Road, and then up the Galleria Mall. And we'll circle with the mall, and all 3 groups, Eastdale Village, Arlington Business District, and Galleria Mall, are all willing to partner up with us on this. And our highway superintendent and recreation are in charge of the caravan, and Mark's been working diligently with the police department to work on getting the roads closed as we go through.
So if you're interested in having your group or putting a float or something in it, contact Mark Pfeiffer from Highway or Bob Legacy from the Arlington Business Improvement District.
Chief, you doing a car this year? Decorate it?
Anything else, Hans?
Turn the lights on.
That's it for me.
Fire advisory,
No report.
infrastructure,
No report.
personnel.
Jessica?
I think she said no report.
Nothing to report. I'm sorry, my camera's on and off, or my mic is on and off working today.
Okay, we got it. Building consolidation, no report as of now. We're still working on looking into different pieces of that. Hopefully we'll have a report in another month or so. And supervisor's report, just diligently working at town hall and then watching the change in the COVID cases and making sure the town's prepared for whatever step may come to us, and keeping the town as safe as possible and our employees as safe as possible. That's all I have at this point. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody that would like to say anything in relation to the town at all? Please raise your hand. Doreen?
Hi, Jay. So I have a question about the COVID. So I've been looking at the county dashboard, and I see, you know, of course, all the cases are going up, active cases, hospitalizations, deaths, unfortunately. And the town has the most. The current one says 64. And that was a jump of 20 people since yesterday. So it went from 44 to 64. Is there any one cluster that you're aware of that made it go up 20 points, 20 people in one day?
Doreen, not in that specific cluster. The college is one of the larger clusters we were seeing, but there was no individual cluster. And the hard thing we're having to relate to is when you see an announcement that a college or somebody had a cluster, the county numbers actually fall 3 or 4 days behind. So what we see to change now could be something that came in over the weekend. And as of yesterday, there is no big change in that, whether it's a single cluster. They just seem to think that it's people meeting too much. A lot of it's a fallback from Halloween parties and different things. And the colleges are still on lockdown, but I don't think the big jump is in the colleges. As of yesterday, they did not tell us exactly where they are.
Okay, so, and then my next question is sort of related to that COVID-wise. So this holiday market on December 5th, I mean, who's ensuring that all the, COVID precautions, social distancing, all of that is, everybody will be complying with that?
Doreen, they're working, and they had a deal with the Board of Health when they did the farmer's market, and they're working along those same guidelines as the farmer's market, and Bob's been in contact with them to make sure they're fine with us doing it. And that's sort of why we broke the caravan to be an hour later for the parade end of it, to try to keep people apart. But they've worked it through the whole farmer's market over the summer. Ann was at most of them, and they weren't allowed to touch anything and do different things. Ann could probably fill you in a little better on how that was, but they followed strict Board of Health guidelines, and they're following that through this fall farmer's market also.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
I see no hands raised.
If not, motion to resume the rules.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adjourn to executive session to consider the following matter subject to attorney-client privilege. So moved.
Second?
A motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Town board goes into executive session at 7:32 PM. I'd like to invite the chief and Tom Colgan from the Water Department to join us in executive session. Thanks, everybody, and have a good evening.